do not lie.
Honorable Kagwe.
Out of 16, or is it 14 isolation centers, there are only 2 from Bere. So since, and you know, Jikal was very clear. Honorable Jikal said the ministry is in charge of policy and directions. So since I've brought out now that biasness, is the minister just going to sit and say that we leave that now to Embu? So that if anybody from Bere, from the lower side of Bere, wants to get isolated, they'll have to drive all the way 60 kilometers to Embu. Is that what my good friend, want to rubber stamp?
Let me assist my good friend, Madam Chair, and say, following that concern, I am going to direct the executive at the council to return to Embu and see what can be done in terms of the advice and policy direction that we can give in order to balance any unmitigated imbalances that might exist there. I think we can rest that matter there.
Thank you.
Chair, to my friend through you. Thank you. Mr. Chair, in terms of, again, a matter raised by Dr. Nyikao, was the issue of accountability. And to add the following, that audit is a treasury responsibility. You know, let me just make it clear that in government, audit is an accountability aspect that is run by the National Treasury. And that even the members of the audit team that are in the various ministries actually are seconded by the Treasury. And they do it very well, if you ask me, because the Auditor General always comes out with these reports that says this is what has not happened. Whether action is taken or not is a different matter altogether. And Mr. Chairman, Madam Chair, having sat in the Senate Committee on oversight, or that oversighted budgets, I can say without fear of contradiction that the role of oversighting county funds and county spending is squarely in the Senate. So the matter of the divisions that exist, the Senate has a role in oversighting counties, in ensuring that counties' money are spent properly, in ensuring that audits are examined, ensuring that the Auditor General reports are tabled by constitutional, in accordance with the Constitution to the Senate, and therefore some of the questions that are being raised to us should actually be raised with the Senate. In terms
point of order, put a point of order, Madam Chair. What Chair, is out of order,
yes, Madam Chair, is it in order for the Cabinet Secretary to claim that the audit and the oversight is purely lies with the Senate or the Ministry of Treasury? Whereas we understand that this is we are operating on a very peculiar situation as a country, where everybody must be accountable, including all of us as members of Parliament, and even Kenyans, and even the President for that case. So was it for you to raise the issue of saying that the audit lies squarely with Treasury and Senate? It's like you're running away from the problem. Today, issues that are being raised today, they are not being raised directed to Treasury. They are being directed to the Ministry of Health, where you are the senior person. If there will be any questions that are going to emerge, you will be held responsible. So I expect you to frame your statement in a better way. And Waziri, you've got a lot of experience. You've been a member of Parliament, you've been a senator, you've been a Waziri. This is not the first time. And we have a lot of respect for you, particularly your articulation skills. Sometimes we find it very difficult to kukushikilia na kukufinya. But Waziri, I think it is important for you to take responsibility on what is happening in the ministry.
Very well. Madam Chair, can I separate two things for the benefit of my brother Kutuni, Mheshimiwa Kutuni? Let us separate the issue of responsibility and taking responsibility for the Ministry of Health, which I do very gladly, especially because I know the work that is going on there. I know the very able doctors and health workers who are on the front line of saving Kenyans today. And I'm so proud to be the person who is actually heading that team that is saving Kenyans, which is the ultimate real work that is going on in that ministry. So that is number one. It's a question of responsibility and is a question of the constitutional mandate to audit. The constitutional mandate to audit any document, any expenditure of money in this country is purely on two institutions, continuous audit by persons either seconded to the ministries as in ours. For example, let me give you a very good example. Part of the process of getting to where we got at KEMSA is an internal audit by ourselves, sending our own auditors to KEMSA. That's called responsibility. And we take it very gladly, and we are doing it. And that's why you see the kind of things that are happening in there. So that is number one. And then there is the issue of the actual technical implementation of an activity and a responsibility. The technical aspect of auditing and arriving at a report for Parliament, at a report for the Senate, is effectively the Auditor General. And you cannot steal the responsibility of the Auditor General under the guise of responsibility in other works in the ministry. So I hope it is clear. I am not escaping at all from responsibility in the ministry. I take it. I take it completely and proudly so. And I'm proud of the people that we lead. So I don't know whether that is clear, Madam Chair, or whether I need to explain it.
Chair, just a point of information.
Yes.
Yes, you can remember when I made my remark that what Kenyans are looking for is value for money. It's not pegged to auditing only. For example, you have sent 300 million to KEMSA, and there is so many people without masks, and the infection is going up. So then we are losing the value for money. That's why I asked in the first place, do you have a framework or monitoring and evaluation that ties what you give out to the outcomes? You see, this is not in black and white, but this is a responsibility endorsed on you as a leading person with all the technical people. Are interventions being reviewed so that you can say this is worth funding, this is not worth funding, this is working, this is not working. It's not, because we know if the Treasury really disburses, it's their responsibility to follow that. If money comes from you, it's your responsibility, but it's also your responsibility for the ministries of the Treasury money that has gone. That does it make difference in the national
Absolutely.
Fight for the COVID? So all these are in your plate.
I tell you, Mheshimiwa, through the chair, I think I have responded to that very clearly. I have made it very clear. We take responsibility for everything in our ministry. And as far as what you're talking about now is concerned, in terms of the formalities of the accounting procedures and so on, I also happen to have a little finance background. And I can confirm to you, we have got very clear procedures. We have got very clear finance and accounting procedures in terms of this is World Bank funding. We know the structures of the World Bank funding. This is Treasury funding. It is very clear that this is how the Treasury funds itself. It is very clear what our role in the whole matter is. And I agree with you. Money that is sent to us, particularly money that is directly allocated to the Ministry of Health, must be accounted by the Ministry of Health, and the ultimate and the buck stops at my desk. And that's an acceptable position, completely and totally. And if we don't take action, then it is us who will not have taken action. And sometimes when we take action, and people come and tell us, you are firing away my tribesman, or you are firing away my cousin, and then we go back to square A. These are some of the issues we face, but with responsibility. And we do so with clarity as well. There is no mandateness in terms of what is supposed to happen and what is not supposed to happen. So clarity we have. So if I hope I'm clear now, because what I would hate to do is to walk out of here and you say that he didn't quite answer that. Let me make it clear. We have got input. Input being the amount of money that we send to this institution or the other institution. We expect those institutions to, one, if it is, for example, if it is to the counties, and we have given a conditional grant, we expect the institution to follow what we have said. We will also expect to get a report from them, which is going to inform our accounting, ourselves, as far as the treasury is concerned. And secondly, the instructions that we give are in accordance with the needs that are there in the country. You cannot go and say, you know, let us buy HIV medicine instead of malaria medicine, when malaria is the issue, not HIV, or vice versa. So the need is what informs what we have ordered for purchase, and in fact, even what we are getting from donors. So, and I can tell you, Madam Chair, that the reason why these debates are going on currently is because we have done exactly that. We have unearthed ourselves. We are the ones who have unearthed some of the malpractices that might be going on and that are under investigation at the moment. But you know, sometimes, you know, if you go somewhere and you start an investigation with your own space, it isn't assumed that it is somebody else who started the investigation and you're hiding something. We are the ones who are unearthing, not hiding.
Madam Chair, just a follow-up on what Waziri has said and what Honorable Wino was driving at. It's about the masks. I know about 3 months ago, Honorable Waziri, we sat with you through a Zoom meeting as we're passing the COVID regulations. And one of the issues that we passed for you as a ministry is that anybody who does not wear a mask will be committing an offense. And of course, an offense has a consequence in terms of a fine. As you drive in Nairobi and out of Nairobi to the counties, so many people are not wearing masks. And the reason is, many of them cannot afford a meal. So is it food that they'll put on their table, or is it that the masks that they'll have to buy? Fortunately, for the ministry, you say there's about, is it 300 million? But the ministry has not come around to doing the procurement. And we are about, is it 5 months to the COVID season? So is it that you let the Kenyans pass on this disease to others, and money is there? Si mnasemanga kuzuia ni kuzuri kuliko kuponya. Maybe you can expand on that, Honorable Minister.
I think let me finish with this issue once and for all. This money came at the end of the financial year of last year. And we have also said, you know, Madam Chair, unfortunately, what is going to happen is this. Had I gone out and gotten a company called Kagwe Limited, for example, you know, to start manufacturing these masks, I would now be here answering the question of how the heck did I purchase from Kagwe Limited and not follow the procedures that are supposed to be there. So wake up your minds. I mean, there's an emergency here. There's an emergency situation, yet we have to follow certain procedures. And let me make it clear on this one, Madam Chair, and I beg for patience on this one. What we are trying to do with this particular one is ensure, and Madam Chair, you know, I don't know which areas my good friends have been observing, but one of the biggest problems is not lack of masks. In fact, when you go around this country, and I've done a lot of groundwork in the country, it is not really lack of masks that is a problem. A lot of people are wearing masks. Even in Eldoret or Kisumu or Nyeri, whatever, a lot of people have masks. The issue is not having a mask. The issue is the way they wear the mask. That is a bigger problem for me than the fact of mask. But having said that, we are going to supply people who are needy. Let's make it clear. A jobless person, a person who really can't afford to buy a mask, are the people we are going to give masks to. Not all Kenyans. Because
is a minister, is a CS in order to misread this honorable house on matters of procurement. My authority is the Public Procurement and Disposal Act 205. Under that act, and if there's any procurement gentleman or lady things that comes up.
Which is why we are here.
So
yes,
So, Madam Chair, is a CS in order to mislead us that in times of emergency that they cannot